I'm gonna find a place for that Iron Man. I don't know that Bastion's particularly important right now. His stuff doesn't go through block. Kind of similar with Torch. We could throw him in, but that doesn't feel super important to me. Okay, so the main thing is Iron Man. Let's see. Maybe Hood? Oh, well, for one thing, if we're going to keep him in, upgrade him. That's an easy one. Hmm. Spider-Punk has been great. I should move a Hulk relic onto him. We can do that before we start. Nice, Black Hole. Welcome. Hulkling has been good, but I don't know that he's been good enough punching up for me to really feel like he's worth it over another defender. I'm going to try dropping him and see how it feels. All right. So we're going to go with this for now. Let's go put a relic on Spider-Punk. Yeah, we can do this for the moment. It can always go back to her if we want, but good use. Hey, TC, how's it going? Healthy? I think my deck still needs a fair amount of work, but I'm not sure what to prioritize next. I can do another rank 3 pretty easily. Yeah, I would rank up Degen for sure, TC. Your call on how much you're going to be using Gilly for it to be worth it. Welcome, Elijah. Okay, that's enough out of you. Um, Punk is a little bit more flexible than Kate, but Kate still hits harder. Which is stupid, but it's true. Who did they ban? Yeah, that checks out. I was about to say, I have consistently not seen Jean when she's unbanned, so nice to finally see her. When Jesus, Sima. Really don't like our options here. I feel like this draft was just not kind, and I'm unsure how much I can change my deck to avoid that and how much it was just unhelpful. Honestly, probably better than taking it on block. Yeah, no, I was expecting to lose that one. Not loving our options. No, easy. We're kind of in the middle of it. How's it going? Oh, Joey. Yeah, I should have just built power normally. Yeah, we definitely could have saved a little bit of health there. I mean, it still would have sucked. We'll see. I'm pretty sure they just come out of this in like 20 more seconds, having lost nothing if they do it properly. So, okay, well, we have a chance at life. Not a great one, but we have a chance. Nice, Joey. Hey, Aiden. And I understand, Slim. My Nico is never open. That was unfortunately the correct choice from them. I really, really dislike Deadpool X-Force. Jessica, do you mind? Ugh. Why did I deal 0 damage? Because perfect block exists. Yeah, the force field would reduce the power sting damage, but it would reduce each one individually, and so I would probably only reduce maybe the first 2 or 3, and then just get shredded by the rest. Their other champ was a rank 3 G, which they could have put on defense, but then I just would have used my gene. So that was absolutely the right move by them. They just didn't get lucky punching against class advantage, which, thankful, because I would have been pretty ticked if I had lost that from Deadpool X-Force, taking one of the hardest tech defenders without issue. Feel like he would have had a harder time with Enchantress? Maybe. Did he place first? I legitimately can't remember. Because if I had put down Enchantress... Okay. Then yeah, I should have put down Enchantress. That was just me thinking ahead of time. I can't put down Enchantress because they have Spider-Woman. No, I don't think that Jean would have been better than X-Force. Don't agree with that. Gene doesn't need that. Oh, I thought I took Yelena to rank 3 already. I need to go do that. Oh no, that's... I think I have options for Red Skull and I'm not getting them. But maybe I need another. It was, Aiden. Literally the last 2 crystals I opened were Patriot and a Yelena dupe. It was... It felt pretty good, because there is that 2024 selector, but I just wasn't able to get it. It wasn't an option, it was too much. And so I was resigning myself to the fact that I probably wasn't going to get Patriot. And then he showed up in a Nexus. So that was pretty nice. Okay, well, I'll take that. Okay, I could have handled the front end of that a lot better, but I found my footing. fine. Yeah, not surprised there. Hey, Walrus. I think that was smart. Yep. Yep. I couldn't get out of the way of that light. The time delay is really nasty when she follows it up. Alright, that's fine. We were trying something, and we didn't get any of the characters that we wanted for that. It would be very nice if it included that, Joey. Agreed. Yeah, we can build one next time. Because I have run into that a few times where it's like, all right, this is going to be poor, or this is going to end poorly because of that. Hatred's not bad. He's better against science champions because he blocks out basically everything the node does. But I haven't really gotten a chance to use him. Not defending my preferences, TC. Sig1 isn't bad, Walrus. She does scale well, though. More Neuros is a lot more damage. Nick's Awakening is very important. His Sig is, like, medium important. I think it generally gets way overvalued. Happy Saturday. Oh, I missed you in there, Jason. Morning. Morning, Cody. Kind of depends on who they place, right, Elijah? But that's okay. I'm not whining about draft RNG because it's part of the game, but I am feeling it more this meta than I did in the previous few. Yeah, it's X amount of months, TC. I think the prowess one is actually the first one. It's the devil. I enjoy parts of it, but I'm having a real hard time feeling like I can plan around things, you know? Yeah, and I think Aiden and Elijah are brand new members. So that's kind of my point, TC. Tip 1, Bullseye's an auto draft. Yeah, I know he goes both ways. That's really unfortunate. Yep, I hit the button. Okay. And he just went for it. Sometimes when I play Spiral, I really question my ability to know what buttons I'm pressing. No! Oh, I didn't realize he was that close. That's not what it. Oh my god. I swear I did not dash. Like, I know what happened. I dashed up at a very slight angle and I ran into him, and of course that's what happened. But Jesus! My Spiral is not low Sig. She just doesn't have that much. And he threw a lot of special ones. I would love to use Bullseye on offense, but I just don't have the defenders for it. Hey, Sahide. Not going well. Yes, Spider-Punk for Enchantress is quite good. However, Spider-Punk, in my opinion, is more important for Kindred, who is going to be there around 3 placement, more likely than not. Maybe not, but that's why we did this. Thanks for being a member, Omega. I appreciate it. Also, yeah, I'm a little surprised by that Corvus into Sinister play. Did not have that on my bingo card. I hate Kindred so much. Like, why do you have a heavy bias when you don't even have a bar of power? How did that not hit? What? Okay, well, that stinks. Kindred does not like me, no. It's not an issue of it if he thought crits through block don't count. Crits through block do count. So, what? Hey, Shub. GG's. Yeah, it makes sense. She can get extra lucky. Yeah, I think it's specifically Sinister's regen not being 100 and combo never going up. No, it probably was a throw round slim. That's my assumption as well. Because maybe I lose to Enchantress, and if not, they had a decent setup for round 3. Yeah, no, I know. I remember it as I said it, Aiden. Not a great morning. Live Ops thanks you for your patronage, my friend. Oh, they left Nico open. Looking forward to not drafting her, but at least I technically have the option. Yeah, I've seen Jean once when she's been unbanned. And notice we haven't seen Jean or Nico. Yep. It's so tilting. Of course, we see one and not the other. I'm still gonna take her for the Korg utility, but I'm annoyed. I thought her light was better than that. That's annoying. Alright, well, wish I hadn't gotten hit in there, but worth drafting. Jean is pretty good. Korg is actually a moderately complicated target for her. Fine, that's worth it. I think this is probably just smarter. I should have been doing this from the beginning. Because we're just holding here. Nice, Aiden. Hey, Pablo. Understood and appreciated. Not upset with you, but... Okay, I think I want to keep streaming for a little bit, but I need to use the restroom, so I will be right back. His bathroom break has been sponsored by Racing Games. That's amazing. A fair amount of truth in that statement, but you know what's great is regular probiotic use. This announcement has been brought to you by people over 30. I'm not going to touch that joke, Joey. I know it's not a joke, but you know what I mean. Thanos, Prowler, or Mordo? You've mentioned Mordo like 4 times in this stream, so I say go with your favorite. But all three are very solid. Oh, I have a Duke Zola now. I need to take him up too. I'm gonna be ranking forever. Yes. Basically, everything in Carolina's kit that you think might be a reference is a reference. Laughing at Jason. That was a good set of 5. Jack and Bastion is a tough choice. I personally would go with Bastion because I think he's a little more flexible, but where Jack is focused, I think he peaks higher, so I'm not sure there's a wrong answer. Yeah, it would have been nice to have Spiral. Whatever, I never do this. Don't really love the results I got, but whatever. Let's just go full defense, shall we? I feel like our deck is significantly better than theirs, and we just got hosed there. Like, did not see the combination of things that we needed. It happens. Alright. How bad is our opponent at fighting Yelena? Okay. Started saying that a little too late. Alright. That's a good emoji usage. Hey, Grass, how's it going? Thanks for being a member. Welcome, Snoops. Alright, let's play Can I Do That Better Than They Just Did? I don't know what just happened on my side of the screen, but it wasn't great. You mind? Okay, that fight can be cleaned further, because I didn't really hit into block until the end. But yeah, that works. I think two of the membership badges are the exact same. It's possible. It's been a while since I've looked at those, to be perfectly honest. Good morning, cat. Sorry for the reminder of mortality. Yeah, it wasn't the crosshair Taskmaster, as you can see there. I don't know what that one is from. Nice, Brian. Congrats. Ah, Thunderbolts. That would make sense, yeah. I don't think so, TC, because Gentle's crits are pretty big. What are my thoughts on Kitty semi-cheesing Yelena? The same that they have been since Kitty released, that she has too many guardrails and she's too strong, and she's lucky that rebalancing didn't exist when she came out. And it's not really a surprise if she's good for something that she maybe shouldn't be. It's Kitty. Sure, friend. I was literally just thinking I'm probably not going to get all that much higher. GC. I'm scared to see this. Oh, that's painful. Yeah, no surprises on those bands. I didn't realize your chi wasn't rank 4 on this account. Alright, we gotta try that if he gets the chance. I don't love this all being the same class so far, but I don't regret the picks. Kitty doesn't have a damage reflect, right? Am I forgetting something? Yesterday, he was one of my last pulls from the sale. I finally have all of my available children. I did not go for the year selector cat. I was actually very sad when I ran the numbers and realized that it was out of my reach. At least out of my reach and budget. um, so I was over the moon when I pulled him from the final 7-star Nexus. Excuse me. No, when you miss against Kitty, you take damage. But Yelena doesn't miss when duped. And maybe they mean before she goes into elimination mode? I could see that. Jason does not like dust. Yeah, thanks, Kat. I did know the selector was going to be there way ahead of time because back when I went to GDC with Sunstorm, the Kabam employee who made the deals, I mentioned that and he goes, well, there might be a 2024 selector. Oh, I needed to knock her down. What did I just do? Yeah, it's fine. I need to figure out how to do this fight. Because I know that he's good for her, but I haven't figured out the right sequence of getting... Oh, I need to heavy there, not medium, because his heavy is safe. Yeah. Okay. That was good practice. Thank you for forcing me into that. I think I know what to do there next time. We suck. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay. Bullseye cannot miss. At all. Which is why I should have just been going for the heavy when she went for her heavy, because then a lot of things would have lined up better. Bro! You absolute jerk. That was my fault. Nope, can't quite do it. Alright. Nope. Alright. I don't know why I tried again. Did she do it after blocking? Is that what it is? Jason wanted me to practice this match. I know. There it is. Alright. If I can parry, that's not too bad. Okay. Nice. Thanks for the practice. Those were valuable. When I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master. I'm out of practice on my Darth Vader. I think I had it down pretty well at the end there, saying you don't need a light. You just need to parry there. There's a chance, TC. Suppose we can try a duel real quick. Wait, where is he? There he is. That's fine. Looks like he can recover fine because of how he pushes himself back. What experience are you having? I don't think what you use before the special shouldn't affect that, I don't think. Whoops. Didn't mean to dash back there. Yeah, he still gets pushed back. I don't think so, Aiden. I think a lot of people think that it does, but from a client perspective, the distance between characters is still clamped to the same maximum. It's just that you on a wider screen you get more outside of them. I don't know for sure, Khan, but Shere Khan. But my guess is that the tokens are specifically the reward for each raids rather than a ranked thing afterwards. So as long as you participate in 4 raids, you should get 4 tokens. But I haven't checked the calendar to see exactly where your departure date is lining up against the 4th week and if you can actually do that. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out my next rank 4. I have the gems to take somebody from rank 1 to rank 4 if I decide to. Or no, I don't have the gems anymore. But I can buy the tier 7 basics with Radiance, and then I'll get these within the week. I think if I do a Science Cat, it'll probably be Quicksilver, but I'm not sure. I'm not feeling super persuaded by Dark Phoenix. She'd mainly just be a prestige move for me, and I don't have the stones to take her up all the way right now. Because she wouldn't provide a whole lot of utility to the battle group, because I think my battle group already has 4 or 5 at rank 4. Well, this meta, Jason, I was happy to not see a Kindred in your deck. That's the first thing that I will say. Um, okay, so I do need to defend myself here. I am not Cat and Sim. I did not hold on to the Sigstone just to have it because I think it's pretty, although it is. That was just because I used the Sigstone or the Awakening Gem, and then I like having them at multiples of 20. So I think I have another one somewhere. Oh yes, notice my 1 Relic Innate stone. Oh yeah, there it is, the Deathless one. C'est la vie. I did, Aditya. Leader is not rank 4. I like leader a lot, but we have a rank 4 leader in my battle group. Doesn't feel necessary. OCD. Mildly. For me, it doesn't feel like. I mean, you're welcome to call it whatever you want. But for me, it's just I've been playing this game long enough that I really, really, really do not like if I have somebody who's at like Sig 181 and then I dupe them again and I've burned that stone. It just doesn't feel important to me. Yeah, I mean, if I decide, excuse me, if I decide to feed stones into Ant-Man or Phoenix, then I will use it because it's a Sig stone. This one, as you can see, it's not my fault. I don't have most of the 6 stars, I don't think. Or, oh, I don't have them awakened. That's what it is. We literally just covered that the Deathless one is different, TC. Yeah, 7-star Awakening gems, they're not they're not trivial by any means, but they certainly have been flowing if you've been going for them. Why won't we talk about that, Con? I said I don't want to take Joaquin from rank 1 to rank 4, but that doesn't mean he's not good, especially this meta, or this upcoming season. Would be easier for me to feed a Cosmic than most. I've thought about the Black Panther. It's not, I don't know. I like him, but he hasn't really lined up great in several metas recently. Like, we could potentially place him, but I'm already placing 4 rank 5s. Way down the line. That's more okay. Yeah, I don't know who I want to rank for. Like, there's a lot of good champions. I'm just not sure. So I don't plan to rush it. I don't think so, Gordana. I think if you evaluate them selectively and you don't take into account the whole of what's there, it's easy to think they're underwhelming, especially if you hyped yourself into expecting too much. But there's a lot on offer. Hey, Shibby. Interesting, Jason. I'd be very curious to hear your feedback on that in detail. Yeah, no, it was a good sale. To give just a couple points of discussion that I've seen come up. One thing that's been called out is that a lot of people are not really processing the track, um, as in the like the milestone track on the web store as part of what you're getting when you're spending money on Odins and stuff, right? They should be, but they're not. And so, like, one thing that came up was, okay, well, then why not just not have a track and move that stuff into the Odins or whatever, so that the Odins and the Black Panthers and all them just look juicier without you having to process that you're also getting this other stuff over here. And there were two primary reasons for that. One, bluntly, we want people to go to the web store. You get better stuff at the web store because we make more money for every dollar you spend. That's just a very simple fact. The other thing is that we actually kind of like, as far as a way of like allowing players to come into the game and spend their way to the mid or end game, we see it as a good thing that a uncollected or Paragon player who buys uncollected or Paragon Odins and Black Panthers and gets to $800 maxes out the same track that Valiants get. That's a way of kind of like leveling things out a bit. Valiants definitely get better stuff, but everyone gets good stuff. Yeah, and Jason's right as well. Like mixing and matching some of those cash deals gives you quite a bit of flexibility as well. And then I think the other thing is that as people are looking through what you call it, the flash deals as they're called, the ones that you buy with units. I've seen a bunch of people say like, "Oh, well, there wasn't such and such resource. I really wanted such and such resource." And it's like very clearly in the flash sale, but they wanted the shinier thing. And so they bought the shinier thing and then they like went all in on the shiny things and now they have too many shiny things and they didn't buy any of the less shiny thing that was actually important for them to use the shiny thing, right? Like, I could have very easily come out of this sale having picked up almost no Sig Stones and been like, man, I really wanted Sig Stones because I really wanted to take my Jean Grey to Sig 200. But you know what I did? I bought one of those option Bs on level 3 and got 75 Sig Stones and another Awakening Gem out of it, which was, of course, a tech because God hates me. Um, but yeah, I did that instead of picking up another Titan because as good as Titans are, as precious as Tier 7 Basic are, there's no option in... Or no, that's not what I'm saying. But yeah, SIGs are also precious. And so I wanted those SIGs. And I think you have to make those choices sometimes. If this were like... In Magic the Gathering, when you're drafting, a phrase that a lot of the top drafters like to talk about a fair amount is that some picks are eat your vegetables picks. Meaning that, like, yeah, you could take that sweet rare, but you know what you really need is a card that you can play on turn 2 or 3. You have no cards in your deck that you can play on turn 2 or 3. So instead of taking yet another expensive cool card, you need to eat your vegetables and take something that supports it. That's kind of how I feel about these kinds of sales sometimes, is that I think a lot of people don't want to make eat your vegetables spending decisions, and so then they complain that basically there weren't any vegetables. And to go back to Jason's Kane's comment, then they're on the toilet and they regret it later. And I'm sorry, that was a gross metaphor. But I think you understand what I mean, right? Like, there was fiber on the table. You have to choose to use it. All right. I have monologued enough. Let me read through chat. Hi, Kurt. How's it going? Only real complaint I heard was a free-to-play player said they spent 18,000 units and only got like half a rank 4 in a Titan. And that's fine, honestly. Yeah. There was a free 7-star Nexus just for logging in yesterday. They definitely got things other than half of a rank 4 in a Titan. That was just, again, the shiny stuff that they were focused on. I don't know. I think the thing that we just keep coming back to literally every sale is that a lot of people intellectually understand that the game has to make money, and therefore people have to spend on the game. And if people are going to spend on the game, then it has to be worth it for them to spend on the game. And credit to Jason in the chat for this, because he really kind of helped me process this when I was still pretty early on at Kabam. Because there was one banquet or something where I think it was like the first rank 3 materials or something. And the hypothetical of those materials not being in the banquet crystals came up. Because it's like, oh, well, the whales got too far ahead. And his comment was very bluntly, if it hadn't been in the crystals, I wouldn't have bought the crystals. And that's why that one comment is like why I keep telling people, if we want spenders to spend, we have to remember that they are intelligent people making reasoned decisions, and it has to be worth it for them to spend. That is the job of an economy and a live ops designer together. And if we want it to be worth it to spend, then that does have to mean that spending gives you an advantage, right? That is just built into it. If you intellectually are okay with people, or like with the game existing as a business that makes money, then you have to necessarily be okay with spenders having an advantage. They are exactly linked. Everything from there is tuning. And I understand that, like, yes, then people can say, oh, but it's too much. But, like, is it? Or was this the amount of advantage that was necessary for us to make the money that we know we need to with this sale? And that gets into, internal data and the job of the econ and live ops teams. But, like, yeah, I'm trying to be transparent with you. Like, I promise you they are not just trying to indiscriminately milk money out of people and just bring in money now, right? From working with these people, they are trying to pace this out as much as possible. If this was how much the economy moved forward in this sale, then a lot of really smart people spent a lot of time deciding that this was how much it needed to move forward. It is possible for those people to be wrong, but I'm trying to get across to you that if they're wrong, it's because their judgment and calculations were off, and not because they were just trying to fleece everybody. Yeah, it's not greed. That's exactly what I'm telling you, Saloy. It's not greed. I know it's really tempting when you want something you can't have to ascribe extra motivations to the person telling you you can't have it, but it is not greed here. Yeah, I agree with you there, Shibby. Like, so many content creators, when they evaluate deals, will look at a collection of 3 items and pick one item and pretend it's the only one there. And, like, you can do that if you're talking about your own dopamine spikes, but you are not objectively evaluating value. And I'm sorry for using 2 linked words like that, but yeah. As a mega whale, I spend when I think it will advantage my accounts. I have 0 reason to spend when it doesn't. The most expensive deals have to be something catered to something I want. Exactly. Like, Another little logic trap that I think people sometimes fall into is you will see, individual whales that are not as good at the game as some people who spend less. And so then it kind of lets you buy into this idea that whales are bad and therefore whales are dumb, right? On average, it might even be true that big spenders are less skilled, but that does not mean that they are less intelligent or less reasonable. And you have to remember that we have to structure the game so that they make those reasoned decisions to spend. I don't know. I've probably talked about this enough, and I feel myself getting hungry. Can't do anything in the world without spending money. That's the reality of capitalism. Yeah. Yeah, and I have my issues with capitalism, but it's the system we're in. I gotta keep the lights on. I just spent money because I love the Fantastic Four and needed Torch. That's a cool enough reason. Hard to wait, future revenue, future health, current revenue, customer satisfaction all at once. Not as easy as it sounds. Yeah, no, our live ops and econ people have a tough job. Time for TLL. Start a new channel explaining economics. I am not qualified. I am just giving you a corner of it. But I'm glad. I appreciate the compliment. I think the offers are more efficient this time around. We're used to deals having 6 different items. This time the budget wasn't diluted and was more streamlined. I think that's true too, yeah. And I think that kind of reinforced the tendency for people to just look at a couple items and not the whole thing. Because they couldn't go, well, you get so much stuff, because it really was 2 or 3 things. And so if you pretend even one of those 2 or 3 things wasn't that important because it wasn't exciting you, then it's going to feel like that particular offer is way less valuable than it actually was. I'm not sure what point you were trying to make there with that one, Saloy. That is the balance that we were trying to strike, Ice, for sure. I'd spend 2,000 units if it guaranteed me to be able to get the first 7-star rank 5 Mordo. It doesn't mean I'm dumb, just means I play different things. There's also no way in heck that you're gonna get an early rank 5 for 2,000 units. But yes, different people do value things differently. Game is free to play, but you can accelerate progress with money. Everyone values their time differently. It's often a function of disposable income. The reason I have that disposable income is because I have above average intelligence, decent work ethic. I've never conned out of my money. I am just choosing to spend money rather than time. Yeah. Absolutely. The other thing that I like to kind of remind people about is that, like, there are a lot of things out there that you can spend disposable income on, right? In a lot of ways, spending it on this game is one of the healthiest, most environmentally friendly things you can do, right? Like, a lot of people like to throw shade at people who spend on video games, but like Jason, when I choose to spend on this video game, I am choosing to make the time that I spend with a lot of my friends, my real friends, more enjoyable. And that's worth quite a bit to me. And that is a better use of my disposable income than, I don't know, buying a car that requires more expensive gasoline, or working towards a boat, or just, buying a lot. I'm going to say more alcohol and food, because alcohol and food is something that my disposable income goes to as well. But like, disposable income is inevitably going to be disposed of, right? You can't take it with you. And enjoying something with other people is a very, very, I'm even gonna say, relatively virtuous use of that money. After hearing a few content creators' predictions, I'm actually really happy with the amount of resources going forward. That is also a fair reaction. Content creator predictions stress me out sometimes. Hey, Herm, it's been a while. Doing well. Yeah, and I think you kind of you used a good word there, Herm, because I've seen some people saying it's like, well, then it's like if it's not this, then I just don't understand how these decisions are being made. I saw that exact phrase from somebody, and I think you kind of just need to accept that that happens sometimes. It's like, yeah, maybe you don't understand it, and maybe that's okay. Maybe that doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that, yeah, you don't understand why the people who are doing this as their job are making different decisions. You let me bet you also enjoy spending time with your friends. I know, silly me, right? Uh, that's a good comparison point too, Nick. Like obviously there was more on offer here than there was at Wheel of Fate. In Wheel of Fate? In is the correct preposition. But yeah, they are coming out at similar places, and it is kind of nice that Wheel of Fate still feels real. Like I know some free to play or very low spend people who got a little bit out of this with units, and then also got a rank 4 out of Wheel of Fate, and so the two of them together felt meaningful, and that was cool for me to see. That's fine, Saloy. But remember that, like, finishing out all of the milestones or whatever, like, that doesn't mean that that's. I don't know. I think too many people see the sales as a checklist as opposed to just buy what makes sense for you, right? You don't have to spend $800 in the web store and 39,000 units in game to engage with this sale. $800 in the web store is also not like a new cap. There have been plenty of things with the cap that high or higher. In game is a more complicated discussion, but units are very available, and units have become more available over time. And so, I don't know. When people complain that how many units you can spend goes up, I really don't care. Arena has gotten more efficient. There's just so many units in game right now. Like, whatever. That stuff can be free. Uh, I'm pretty busy outside of my main stuff right now, Nick. So I don't want to commit to getting back to you soon. But yeah, send it over to me and I'll try and take a look. That one's kind of difficult to explain, John, which is why the Trello description is so vague. But basically, the way that Spiral needs to work, she has some AI manipulation built into her. And while her designer tried to be really, really careful and exact with exactly how he messed with that, there were some holes. And so, in some cases, AI just turns off for her, which is obviously not great. So it'll get fixed. 2 or 3 months ago, yes. Maker was already in the process. Two months ago, Maker was nearly done. 3 months ago, we were actively playtesting. Thanks, sir. I appreciate that, and I do specifically appreciate the call out that it's helpful when I try and anticipate the pain points and address them. The amount I spent in these deals would have gotten me every milestone not so long ago. Okay. I don't really, like, I know that you're implying that that means that morally that should be the limit forever, but why? I don't really have much else to say other than why. Is the economy the exact same as it was then? Is the in-game economy the exact same as it was then? Yeah, Maker's not mine. What do I mean it gets turned off? I mean it gets turned off. Briefly. It's supposed to come back, but one of the wires didn't get connected. Okay, what time is it? It's almost 1. Yeah, I should go eat. No, now that Maker has been officially announced, I am going to address it once here, and I don't know, I'll probably address it again. But just for those who are surprised that I'm not making him, I don't personally have a connection to the character of the Maker. A lot of people assumed that he was really important to me, and that was like one of my primary goals was to design him. It never really was. I just didn't address it. I would have happily built him, but more because he would have been my first tech than anything else, and he was the month after Nico, who I do have a connection to, and so didn't happen. Simple enough there. But no, I think the Maker's going to be fun. I look forward to y'all seeing more of that. The animations are absolutely wild. But all right, I think that tempo slowed down here, so I'm going to go ahead and call it and go eat and continue packing up. But yeah, take care, everybody. Have a good one. Oh, real quick, just to answer you, Snoops. People assumed that I designed the Maker or that I badly wanted to because of my connection to Mr. Fantastic, right? But they're not actually the same character, and I don't really work that way. Anyway, take care, everybody. Have a good one. And for anybody who hasn't opened stuff yet, good luck.